Hey, Honors Physics students. Here are some hints about Edline and how you can use Edline in honors Physics to be more effective in figuring out what's going to happen next and, uh, and how to access all the resources. Edline is a fantastic source of resources, and in Honors Physics, I'll expect you to look at this many times. So I want to start with the most important part. And before I say that, please watch this video all the way through so you can see some hints that will enhance your education this year. So the first thing I want to look at is the most important piece. You'll have a hard copy of this, but I'm going to click on the calendar. So as you look at this calendar, it tells you the current month, and you can see when I'm producing this. And so I'm going to skip back just a couple of months. And if you look at April, and you can see what's happening every single day. Now, so there are days when we have labs. You can tell we're having lectures, but the most important piece of this is there are due dates. So you can tell, for instance, near the bottom, as you can see the cursor, I'm looking here, and it even changes color when the cursor goes over this. A very important piece, it says text assignment due Thursday. Well, since this is assigned on a Thursday, it's due the very next Thursday. That's the only information you'll have about the due date. And when that Thursday arrives, it may be that I will collect it. And so you're wondering what the text assignment is. Look at what will happen. I'm going to click on this particular place. And as I click on that, then you can see what the text problems are. And as you look at this, it brings up not just the text problems, but it tells you the answers to several of them. So it's very useful for you to figure out how to best solve problems on that text assignment. And so I can click done on this and go back to some of the options. Now you can see that on the upper right, so as you see where my arrow is pointing, a lot of different possibilities. If you missed a lecture, so for instance you were absent during part of a particular chapter, what you'll see is a PDF file where I've stored for you all of the lectures for these chapters. And so I think that'll be relatively useful for people who are absent. And another piece that I think is really important is when you're working on a text assignment, many times at your house, you don't know how to start it. So I'm going to go to the text problem hints. As I click on this, and this will be a feature you'll want to access every single month. As you click on this, you see here there are various choices. Each one of those is a YouTube video, kind of like what you're seeing now. Everyone's a YouTube video about how to start some of the tougher problems. So I would advise never doing a textbook assignment without at least seeing these, unless you can solve them all by yourself without any help. Coming in for help is an excellent option, but if you're at your house, sometimes watching these YouTube hints will help you get started on some of the tougher problems. And again, you should try this every time you have one of these. And if you're getting ready for a test, it is really useful to know how to solve the problems. So here's a a worksheet solution section. I'm going to click on that, and what you see, and this is very valuable, is there are solutions in PDF file for how to solve every single one of the problems. So for instance, if you click on one of those, what it will load for you, and it takes a moment sometimes to load this, what it will load for you is a PDF file that shows how to solve every single problem on that worksheet. And so if I were studying for a test, I would want to find out how the teacher solves all the problems getting ready for an exam. So for instance, many times I will give extra review worksheets, and on these extra review worksheets, there are problems similar to what you'll have on a test. And so wouldn't it be good to see how the teacher would solve every one of those? And that's kind of where we're going with this. This is what I find to be very useful in preparing for the exam. So here's an example. So chapter 10 and 11, extra review worksheet. I've given problems here. Students have worked on them. But as you see, here is the way that I solve all the problems. And students will find this to be very useful. So So those are most of the hints that could get you started on using Edline. And you'll find others as you try it. Hope this has been very helpful.